from the City of Presidents. It's the All About Quincy podcast. This is your host, John Melly. Join me as we explore the history, hidden gems, and highlight the businesses with great stories that all tell the tale why Quincy, Massachusetts is a great place to live. Hey there, it's John. How are you? Thanks for spending time with me today. I do appreciate it. Welcome back for another episode of the All About Quincy podcast. We've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. Before we get to today's topic, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, throwmydogabone.com. It's a way for you to support both this podcast and the Forever Home New England Dog Rescue. You know, we're dog lovers here at the All About Quincy podcast, and we got our rescue dog, Trudy, from Forever Home New England Dog Rescue, and she is just the best. Here's how Throw My Dog a Bone works. Go to the All About Quincy podcast site and click the Throw My Dog a Bone link at the top of the page. Or you can go to throwmydogabone.com. When you get there, you're going to see a picture of Trudy, and you can buy 1, 5, 10, or even 20 digital dog bones. They are not real dog bones. It's a metaphor. And 20% of all the proceeds after bank processing fees will be donated to Forever Home New England Dog Rescue. And the rest is going to be used to support this podcast. So go to allaboutquincypodcast.com, click the Throw My Dog a Bone link at the top of the page, and buy 1, 5, 10, or even some people have purchased 20 digital dog bones at throwmydogabone.com. Throwmydogabone.com, supporting content creators and helping dogs find loving homes. So last episode, we had a surprise visit from old-timer Earl Futzenheimer, and he shared with us Earl's pearls of wisdom. And the downloads for that episode, through the roof. A lot of people liked what Earl had to say. If you missed that episode, go back to episode 29 of the All About Quincy podcast, where Earl basically tells everybody we need to clean up after ourselves, particularly if you have a dog, and I completely agree with Earl. My guest for this episode is Susan Maysmith from Jacsan Essential Oils, and we have a great conversation about all-natural products that basically can replace a lot of the commercial products that have a lot of not so nice chemicals in them. But Susan has created a line of products with essential oils and all natural organic ingredients. I know you're going to get a lot out of this interview, so let's not waste any more time and get to my conversation with Susan Maysmith. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back. As I said at the beginning of the episode, my guest today is Susan Maysmith with Jacsan Essential Oils. And Susan and I met at the Kilroy Square Markets shortly after the tree lighting ceremony in Quincy Center late last year. And I wandered around with my business card, and she was there, and she had her essential oils and granola. And I said, hey, I'd love to get you on the show because we want to showcase and promote small businesses in Quincy and in the surrounding areas. And she said, yeah, let's do it. And then, of course, it was the holidays came and you were busy doing other fairs and all of that. And then we briefly reconnected at the Boston Harbor Studios where you were doing another, I don't want to say a trade show, but another exhibit with with White Pine Markets. And, what a great turnout there. And we set up this interview, and here we are. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Just ducky. It's a good day for ducks.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm glad you're here too. So, Susan, at the beginning of each episode, I like to ask what I call the simple 7 questions.
Okay.
So are you ready? Are you game?
I'm game.
Okay, here we go. Crunchy cookie or chewy cookie?
Crunchy cookie, like my granola.
Very good. I should have known that one. Okay. Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
You drink it black or you put stuff in it?
Depends if I'm being good in the morning and fasting.
If you were stranded on a deserted island and only had one tool, what would it be and why?
Absolutely a knife. Because I could create shelter, I can make a fire, I can hunt, and I can fish. So I will survive.
I'm right there with you on the knife thing. Some people say, I have my iPhone, so I could call for help.
I might enjoy not having the phone.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's a wonderful piece of technology, but it can also be a tether. Okay. Road trip or plane trip?
That's a tough one because as I get older, I absolutely hate flying. I will be the person next to you crying
Oh,
with the turbulence, and I've gone to some cool places. I've been to Paris, and in one trip we did Berlin, Amsterdam, and London, but I hate flying. So I'm going to do the road trip, and I want a road trip across America because I think our own country has so many beautiful places to visit that I haven't been to yet. So I'm going with road trip.
there you go. Okay. Museum or national park?
I love, love, love museums, but I'm going with national park.
Okay. Winter Olympics or Summer Olympics?
Love the ice skating, but we love watching track and swimming and the gymnastics. So yeah, I'm gonna go summer.
I think we're close, but I do have one last question for you. And I pretty much know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. New Year's Eve, Times Square or quiet evening at home with friends, maybe?
Every year, my husband and I spend it at home. I used to teach yoga on New Year's Eve till about 10 or 11. And then we would come home and we'd make it to midnight. But I think going out on New Year's Eve is the worst idea.
Bonus question, Thanksgiving or 4th of July?
Thanksgiving for
Okay.
family time.
Okay. Very good. So now we'll get down to the business at hand, Susan. Thanks for playing.
What about New Hampshire and Maine and the Cape?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think I got the extra question was coffee and tea.
Yep, you did.
What tea?
You're keeping track. Wow, you're ready. I love it.
I told you I listened to 2 podcasts
I'm
actually.
gonna keep this
3.
part
I
in.
listened to 3. I did the barbecue guy too.
Oh, okay. Well, folks, she's keeping me honest. Okay, so Cape Cod or New Hampshire, Maine?
New Hampshire, Maine for sure. I would love to live on a lake with the mountains right there or on the ocean in Maine. I went to school in Maine. I just love New Hampshire and Maine.
Susan, before you were involved with creating your own products and your essential oils and your delicious granola, I got an inkling that you had a yoga studio at one point.
Yes, my husband and I had a yoga studio. We lost it when COVID happened. We just couldn't support the studio, so that was sad. But I had been a yoga teacher, or have been a yoga teacher, for a little over 30 years, and I was a fitness instructor. I worked for like Reebok Corporation, Boston Medical, Boston Sports Club. I mean, so many places.
Wow.
And so in the studio, I offered all kinds of classes that I would teach, and I had a great staff of teachers. And so it was sad that it closed. But when we started the yoga studio, we didn't want any chemicals in the studio. The same philosophy as when we created all the bug sprays, that we don't want chemicals anywhere. And we're trying to take care of the health of ourselves, our staff and customers, clients and students, and just the environment itself. So we had a lot of products like the hand gels, of course, when COVID happened, we had those.
Yeah.
But the cleaning materials we made, the yoga mat cleaner, room sprays. And then in our bathrooms, we would have beauty products for the customers to use, facial oils and hand scrubs and everything like that. So when we lost the studio, I was thinking, well, what am I going to do now? Because we provided them for our customers, but we would also sell them. A lot of customers and students would ask, do you have any of the bug spray with you? Or they'd place an order. And so that's how farmers market happened. Jacsan essential oils, and the name Jacsan, which we couldn't come up with anything, is Jacob and Susan put together.
I wondered that.
Yeah, my father's like, how'd you get your name? And I told him that. And I said, Dad, it's been 7 years at the time when he asked. So we couldn't come up with anything. So Jacsan is Jacob and Susan essential oils. We make all natural products with organic essential oils. The goal is to lead a chemical-free life, that we're not spraying chemicals into the environment, on our skins, in our homes. So that's our goal with the essential oil line. Our main products are organic bug sprays.
Oh, bug sprays. That's
Yeah, so we have Mother Bugger.
Mother
and Little
Bugger.
Yeah, you have to say it with a Bostonian accent. Mother
Yeah.
Bugger and
Mother
Little
Bugger.
Bugger. And we added Tick Block and Code Black for black flies. We are making them in lotions this year. And we also have it's called Afterbite Itch Relief Salve. So if you do get a bite. So that's our main product line. And then we have a bath and beauty line, which you've seen, because we really don't sell a lot of them in the summer markets or spring. But at the holiday markets, that's what sells. Spring Meadows bathroom spray, stinky skate spray. That's a huge product.
What's this?
It's called stinky shoe spray. And
Stinky shoe spray?
stinky.
Stinky shoe.
Think hockey skates stink. So people complain about how, like, I actually made it for my husband's running sneakers, which stink. So I created a product to get rid of the stink so they don't stink anymore. It actually works. And he's like, I only have to spray it like every 3 weeks. I'm like, are you sure? I don't want to that. But so he comes in the kitchen with his sneaker and he's like, do you want to smell? And I'm like, I don't know, do I? And there was no smell to it. So I had a customer at the Kilroy Square Market come up to me and she said, and she's looking at the labels and she said, my 3-year-old granddaughter just said to me, you know what, Grammy? My favorite part of the day, that's my friends. You know what the worst part of my day is? And the grandmother's like, what? And she says, my stinky feet or stinky shoes.
Yeah.
So I created a ballet slipper label for her. I now have 25 labels, if that says how popular the stinky shoes are. But hockey skates get their own special label that says stinky skate spray. And people love it so much and need it that comes in an 8-ounce size. Everything else is just 4-ounce. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
It sounds like you're having fun with the business. That's great. I'm going to have to go check out your Instagram page after we get off our conversation here and follow you and definitely check out your products. But I want to just step back a second. You talk about organic and not putting chemicals into the environment, but also not on your skin. Because I think, I don't know how many people know this, but when you put stuff on your skin, it doesn't just stay on your skin. Your body absorbs it, right?
Exactly. It gets into your bloodstream.
Your immune system picks up on it and goes through your liver, gets filtered and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a doctor, but I've done some research on my own. We're big into that here at home because we don't like to use chemicals. We use natural soaps and shampoos and all that kind of stuff. So why did you choose this route?
9 years ago, that's when we started Mother Bugga. I love the outdoors. My husband and I love to hike, especially paddleboard, just go out for walks, anything that's outdoors. And I am a bug magnet.
Oh, I'm right there with you, Susan.
I can have 35 bites on one arm and nobody else is getting bit. It freaks my parents out. They're always like, how come nobody else is getting bit? And I was tired of staying indoors because of this, and nothing worked for me. So I did a lot of research on it and I wanted it to be natural. So I created a formula and I tweaked it for 3 years and came up with a great product so I really made it for me, which is kind of exactly what every product that I make is, something for myself, my family, my husband. And so it's out of necessity. And then we use them all, we test them, and then we like to share them.
Nice. What is it they say? The necessity is the mother of all invention.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from on being the magnet for bugs and I, like you, love being outside. I love yard work. I love the woods. I love being outside in nature. It's very important for me. But my wife and I can be standing next to each other and I'm like doing the slap dance and she's standing there going, why, what's wrong? And I just look at her and I go, you're welcome, because I'm drawing them all to me. This is really cool. So you've come up with a formula. If I may, how many iterations did it take for you to kind of perfect your recipe? Do you know?
Oh, about 24, just little tweaks of the ratios of essential oils.
Yeah.
How much of jojoba oil we wanted in there, not a lot, but so your skin doesn't dry out. And I handwrite everything in a notebook. I don't do the notes on the computer, so I handwrite everything. I went through an entire notebook of notes. And once I've got it down, I don't touch it again. I don't look at it. I don't change anything. Like Code Black, which is for black flies. We tested in the White Mountains last year, 4 of us for 5 days. The first formula that I tried worked fantastically. So I'm not even going to touch that.
Okay.
But yeah, it took a lot. It took a lot of years. It worked great first round, but I wanted it to be perfect. And
that's great.
And there's always that one mosquito that will follow you into the house that you didn't see. So I sprayed the door frame. And then so I get welts. If I'll have welts all over. So I made the Afterbite Itch Relief Salve. It stops the itch right away, and it will heal in just a couple days.
Can you reveal what some of the ingredients are?
Oh, that's easy because every ingredient that goes into our products, it's just me and my husband, is on the label.
Oh, okay.
So I had one of my yoga students once ask about the bug spray, and she said, "What's in it?" And I told her, and she started writing frantically. She wrote everything down, and I said, "Karen, I sell it." And she said, "Oh, thank God." I said, "Yeah, it would cost you a fortune, and I buy very high quality essential oils wholesale. So you can't, it would cost a fortune to actually make the product as good as it is."
Can you use these products on dogs? Because we're big dog fans here at the Quincy Podcast.
So here's the thing about the animal question, and I get it all the time, dogs and cats. And if you research it, you'll have one answer says, "Oh, that's fantastic. You can use that on dogs." And the next one says, "No, don't use that on dogs." So just because I'm not a vet, I try not to answer and I say, ask your vet. I
Okay.
will say that Hingham Animal Clinic on 3A in Cohasset, they bought cases of the bug spray, and their location up in Buffalo, New York had some customers up there buy it. And if you go to the website, which is jacksaneos.com, one of my testimonials is actually Dr. Heather Sachs from the Hingham Animal Clinic. So,
Okay.
but I let people make their own choice on that.
So while you can't claim to be a vet and recommend it for pets, you've had a veterinarian say this is great.
Yes.
And you need to make your own decision when it comes
Yes.
to that.
I'm sorry that when you asked me, can I tell you some of the ingredients in the sprays, it's important what the base is for each spray is something different. And I will tell you that the mother bugger, the base is distilled water and witch hazel. And the same thing for the little bugger, but Code Black is organic vanilla extract. And if you ever used imitation vanilla extract, it will attract the black flies. And then the tick block is the organic apple cider vinegar. And then whatever essential oils go into the product, they're all listed in order of the volume.
Yep.
Little bugger is 3 months to 2 years. You cannot use mother bugger because it has too big of a ratio of essential oils, too large. And you can't use peppermint and you can't use lemongrass. So it has
On
chamomile.
infants, is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
so you have to use different essential oils, different ratios, but it's all listed right on the labels.
Yeah, well, we're getting into that season, and I love the idea that it's all natural and not chemicals and everything like that. Like I said before, I love being outside, working in the yard, cutting the grass. I like to, and then the dogs are always kind of like, "Hey, come on and play." But when we moved here, the yard, it has a stone wall along the back of it. It's an old stone wall. And people don't realize that inside the crevices of those stone walls are little like puddles of water. And that's where the mosquitoes go to lay their eggs. And so they're coming out of the stone wall. Anyway, I'm out in the backyard, and within 30 seconds, I was covered. So I was like, what do I do? I did all this research into finding like a mosquito magnet and all that kind of stuff. And while they work initially, they've got moving parts and they break down, and then you got to find replacement parts, and then you become a mosquito magnet technician. And I was like, I don't want to be doing it. Anyway, well, long story short, we found a company that does an organic mosquito and tick spray. And I think it has peppermint and rosemary oils in water. It works. It
Oh,
really, I
that's
mean, it
great.
does wear off, after, if it rains a lot or after a couple of weeks, you've got to maintain it, but it's amazing. I mean, I can be out there. If your spray is anything like what the stuff is that we spray in our yard, I'm going to buy some stuff from you because it's getting to be that season and I need it.
And the great thing about the sprays is they smell good.
I was going to ask about that. So you said apple cider vinegar. I'm sure part of your experimentation was, am I going to smell like a dill pickle walking around?
Okay, well, the tick block doesn't smell great, but you're really only putting it on your shoes
Okay.
and around your ankles and up to your knees. So it's really an extra layer of protection. That's how I word it, so that I don't want people to just use that. I use the mother bugger all over, and then I add the tick block. So you don't need a lot of it. It'll last you a long time, but that one doesn't smell as good. But I mean, the
You're just
mother
being
bugger
honest.
has lavender and peppermint and tea tree, eucalyptus, geranium. There's a whole bunch of, I think there's 8 essential oils in that one. Little bugger has mostly lavender and chamomile. It's a very gentle scent. It's really pretty. But I'll spray it, and people say, "Oh, what are you spraying? That smells good." I'm like, "It's bug spray."
And how does it feel on your skin? You know how sometimes you just like, I don't like to use the commercial bug repellent, some people call it bug dope because, it gets sticky and all that kind of stuff. And you just can't wait to go inside.
You won't even feel it. In
Yeah.
fact, a lot of my customers say one of the things they love about the bug sprays is that they put it all over their kids and they don't even have to give them a bath at night.
Okay. And it's part of the whole natural process, right? It's
Yes.
part of it. What's your website again?
Jacsan, just like the name, JACSANEOS.com. And mine crashed. And so this is a relatively new one and it needs to be updated a lot. There's not a lot of products on there, although some of the bug sprays are on there. But our Instagram, which is at Jacsan Oils, has everything on there. I encourage people to give me a call, send me an email, tell me what they're looking for. I custom blend a lot of products. I had a couple from Duck Spray who had bought one of my products. It was actually a Citrus Bliss cream, body cream, and they had bought it at a store. And the gentleman wanted to use it on his face, which I had to lessen the ratio of essential oils from 3% to a 1% dilution. So I custom blended that product. And then they looked at the Instagram account and they ordered, I think, like 6 more products. I just
Wow.
delivered those yesterday. So I do a lot of that.
I just want to make sure that we spell your company's name. It's Jacsan, not
Yes.
a different vowel. We want to
Yes.
SAN. And it's Jacsan EO.
The website is Jacsan EOS, so JacksonEOS.com, which is essential oils.
Right, right. And what
And
is your
then
Instagram handle?
Instagram doesn't have the E in there. It's just Jacsan Oils. So JACSANOILS.
Okay, so we're going to link to that, and I'm going to start following you on the All About Quincy podcast.
I'm already following you.
Oh, then I probably am already following you. If
I think I started following you yesterday. Went in and listened to a podcast.
Oh, thanks for
Yeah,
doing that. Yeah, we've got over 560 followers now there, and
I
um,
saw that. I listened to the one about the bookstore. I love
oh,
bookstores. So I need to go and visit the bookstore.
yeah, the next chapter, books and more. Now, you keep talking about these ratios and percentages. Do you have a degree in chemistry or something?
No, business, but I have a certification in essential oil safety
Oh, okay.
from
Yeah,
the Tisserand Institute. Yeah, people sometimes they don't realize that you have to follow dilution ratios depending what the product is used for and how often it's used.
Mm,
And different essential oils will affect your skin differently. Lavender is pretty safe, but if you put peppermint undiluted on your skin, it could burn it. And
sure.
then there are photosensitive essential oils. Usually they're the citrus oils. So you don't want to be putting those on your skin and then going right out into the sun. So you do have to understand and you do a lot of research.
Yeah, I was kind of, you know what? This is interesting to me. So there's a whole thing. It's not like if you were just an essential oils salesperson, it's not like you're buying bottles of essential oils and then pouring them into smaller bottles with labels and eyedroppers and selling them to people. There's a lot more to it than that, isn't there?
There is. And you also have to be careful who you're buying from, that they do have the knowledge to make a safe product. And I would advise to not buy them at chain stores. There's a reason why they're so cheap. They could be contaminated or oxidized. You don't know how old they are. You don't know what the actual ratio is, what the quality of the essential oil in the product is. So you're just safer buying it from somebody that really knows what they're doing.
That makes sense. We had a candle maker many episodes ago. She and her husband started a homemade candle business. That interview was really my first exposure to this natural product of things. And one of the things that she told me was that a lot of the wicks, if you don't buy the wick from a well-sourced place, if you buy cheap wicks when you're making candles, there's a good chance that there's a little sliver of lead in the wick to make the wick stand up straight as opposed to a 100% cotton wick. And she said, you buy these candles and you could be lighting the candle and lead burning lead in your house. And I
Yeah, it's
thought,
horrible.
holy cow. So really, you've got to be careful about, and it's not just what you eat and drink, it's what you're breathing. And as we said earlier, putting on your skin because it all goes in.
We have, like, in addition to the bug spray. So when we do the Kilroy Square Market, I think this is going to be my 5th year. People come up to me and say, "Are you the bug spray lady?" I am the bug spray lady. And we don't sell a lot of bath and beauty products. Like, I have salt scrubs, body creams, lotions, lip scrub, so many. There's over 100 products. I have to fix that. We're going to concentrate on bug spray and granola going forward. But in the holiday markets, which I met you at
Yeah.
and saw you last Saturday, I had mostly bath and beauty products and a little bit of the bug sprays. No granola on that one, but
Let's talk about your granola because I know you were really excited about that when we spoke on Saturday.
I'm so excited. I can't even, I just made a delivery right before we were doing the podcast. I'm like chatting with the woman. And I said, I have to go. I have to go do a podcast. And I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
So I've been making granola for a really long time. And my husband lets me know when we're out. It's like, "Babe, we have no more granola in the house." And,
Yeah, we're
and
really good at that. Hey, we're out. Sometimes
right. And
not
they
so
ship it
much.
tonight.
Sometimes the empty box gets put back on the shelf and then they go, what?
I give it to friends and I ship it down to my parents. And so one day I was just like, you know what? Why don't I just sell the granola? This was just in November. So I got a residential kitchen permit from
Okay.
the town of Hingham. And the first market I did was Situate, the holiday market at the high school. And I think we sold out of what we brought. And we had free samples, and somebody would come up with a 4-ounce bag, and I'd say, "Did you taste it?" And they're like, "Oh, no." And so they try a sample, and they would put it back and say, "I'll take the big bag." And then I had somebody order it on the way home from the market. He said, "My kids just ate the whole thing in the car."
Oh,
So
fun.
they were from Situate, and I had it at the holiday market. We did exceptionally well. People love it. I'm so excited about it. And it's Hola Granola, and it's say hello to your new favorite granola, Hola Granola.
Hola granola.
And it
Okay.
kind of went hand in hand with how I wanted to design the label. So I
Yeah.
already had that in mind. So and it's Hola Granola, homemade wholesomeness in big bites and crunchy crumbles. So in every bag, what I do, it's not really 8 ounces. We always make more than that. It's the large bag. And so I'll put all these big chunks in. So it's kind of like a healthy cookie for you. Instead of all that sugar, you've got the honey. And then we take all the small pieces that you probably want to add to your yogurt with fruit. So that's at the bottom of it. So after we weigh it, then we add those in. And then I don't have any markets that the granola will be at until April 12th. So I'm running a special. It's $12 a bag, but you can get 6 bags for $62. And I just got 4 orders, and they're all repeat customers, if that says anything.
Yeah, it
So
does. It says
I'm,
everything.
I'm baking granola for the rest of the day so I can finish delivering tomorrow. So I deliver to the local area for free. And my husband has worked at the Four River Bridge. It used to be Bluefin. He's an underwater robotics engineer for
Oh,
General
wow.
Dynamics. So it's perfect because if I can't deliver to Quincy that day, he'll deliver it.
Nice.
So I'm super excited about it. And we'll have it at the Kilroy Square Market most Fridays. I usually do every other Friday, but I'm going to do some extra ones. So I'll have it. But one thing I do want to say about the granola is you have to love nuts
Oh,
because it's not just a bag of oats that were cooked with some honey and cinnamon and everything. It's half oats, and the other half is made up of chopped pecans and chopped walnuts and slivered almonds and pepitas. And that's what makes it so good.
pepitas. Is that the last thing you two said?
Yeah, it's pumpkin seeds.
Pumpkin. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that sounds really good. And I did have a sample and it does taste good. It's good
Oh,
stuff.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. At the holiday market.
Yes, of course. It
Kilroy
was there.
Square.
Little cups of it. And I was like, ooh,
I ran out
this could be
more
this
next
this
time.
could be dangerous.
I know one of my customers just placed an order and she said, I have to remember that a serving size is not the entire bag. I said, yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It works
We'll
for you.
make more. It's okay.
Susan, if there's one thing you want our listeners to know about Jacsan essential oils, that's Jacsan essential oils, what would it be?
that we care about our customers. So we're making products to keep you healthy. And we like to work with people one-on-one and have a lot of conversations at the markets. So it's not just come up, look at something and buy it. I want to talk to my customers and understand them because I really do care about what they're putting into the air, into their homes and on their skin. So I think that sets us apart from a lot of businesses.
And again, your website is jacsaneos.com.
JACSANEOS.com.
Okay. Your Instagram handle is at Jacsan Oils.
JACSANOILS. You got it.
All right. Well, Susan, I want to thank you for spending time with us and telling us your story and telling us all about your organic, natural products to help people stay healthy and smell nice.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was really fun.
Well, that's it for this episode of the All About Quincy podcast. I want to thank you for listening. Check out the All About Quincy podcast on Instagram. That's a great way for you to connect with us. We are at All About Quincy podcast on Instagram. When you do, you're going to get an opportunity to sign up for our weekly Quincy Happenings e-newsletter. Every week, it's going to give you a handful of great events happening around Quincy so you can plan your schedules and make plans for the weekend or whatever, happening all around the city. So go there, get it for free. Just click the link at All About Quincy Podcast on Instagram, or you can sign up at allaboutquincypodcast.com. And remember, if you've got a great event coming up or you have a great guest that you think should be on the show, we want to know. Reach out to us at allaboutquincypodcast.com or send me a message through Instagram. We'll be back next week with more fun. In the meantime, thanks for listening.